Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today, I'm trying a few new things with my video. As you can tell immediately, I'm recording in a new room in the house. I had some people say that that where I was recording before was a little dark, so I'm going to try to record up here, see if it looks any different, looks any better. Also, I bought a new microphone. Excited to try that out, and so you guys will have to tell me if you think this video looks better, sounds better, just the same, or whatever comments you might have. I'm open to them. I have started using a new camera. I have some new software that I'm trying out, so a lot of different things I'm trying out here all at once, and we're gonna see if that sounds any better or looks any better. So things are a little bit different, that's why. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, this video is for civics, and we are going to be talking about political parties. Now, I will say that I am kind of going out of order for what I would normally do for this class. You know, we just did like basics and learning terminology and things like that. Normally, I would now go into like the different branches of the government and like talk about checks and balances and things like that. But due to Election Day coming up, I thought it would be important to talk about political parties and the election process first, get that in there, and hopefully whenever the election comes around, you guys will understand, and you know, whenever you hear people talk about it on the news or talk about it just in your day-to-day conversations, you'll have a better understanding of what's being discussed, what's being said. So let's go ahead and get started. We will be talking about political parties today. Okay, political parties. A political party is a group of people who seek to control government by winning elections and holding office. America's two major parties are the Republicans and the Democrats. Now, there are other parties in the United States, but due to our current system that we have in place has two major parties, and as I'm sure everybody knows, those are the Republicans and Democrats. Now, if you look on this slide over here, it shows two campaign buttons. Those are the party's symbols. The party of the Democrat is the donkey, and the symbol for the Republican is the elephant. Parties can be principle-oriented, issue-oriented, or election-oriented. These are the things that motivate the party, the things that they pursue after. America's parties are election-oriented. So the Republicans and Democrats, their main objective is to win elections. Now, what political parties do? What is their purpose? Why do we have them? Their first purpose is to nominate candidates. Whenever they nominate candidates, and they inform and activate supporters. Now, whenever they nominate candidates, a political party is a group of people who come together who have similar political ideas and goals, and they nominate candidates that they feel are ideal candidates for office. Now, they use their platform to inform and activate supporters, meaning they organize people. You know, whenever you see somebody that's like handing out flyers or you know, calling people to inform you about a certain candidate, that is a person, it is a supporter of that political party. They act as a bonding agent. This is, once again, just organizing people, getting them together. You know, that's how they organize their supporters to get more support for their candidate. They govern, meaning that the party will help guide political policy, and they act as a watchdog. And we will get into each of these more in the coming slides. Nominating candidates. The major function of a party is to recruit, select, and present candidates for public office. Their goal is to, search for who they feel is the most worthy person of their support. Now, the picture here, this is of a one of the national conventions, and this is from a few years ago. I believe this was the Republican National Convention that was held, I think in 2008. I could be wrong about that. But that is, it just goes to show how many people show up to these events. These are a huge, major event that are held to rally support for candidates. Informing supporters. They define and take stances on important issues. So whenever they want you to vote for their candidate, they want to inform you on what that candidate stands for. This is how that they will campaign for their candidates and criticize other candidates for their positions. So there are two kinds of ads that politicians and their supporters will put out. There are support ads and attack ads. A support ad will say, well, you need to vote for my candidate because they support X, Y, and Z. They stand for these sorts of things. They will fight for your rights, and they will pursue justice and that sort of thing. And then there are attack ads, which a candidate will put out that will down talk the other candidate that they are running against, or another candidate that is against them. You're going to be seeing a lot of these coming up in the near future if you're watching TV, what with election day just a couple of weeks away. Bonding agent. Vouching that a candidate is worthy of the office. Like I said earlier, one of the primary functions is to get supporters together and to say that they are worthy of the office. So that's this function of a bonding agent. Whenever they bring people together and say, this person is worthy of the office, we need to support this person. It says that they are trustworthy, they're of good character, capable of the job, etc. So that is one of the major functions of a political party. Governing. Executive and legislative branches must work together. Bipartisan actions are supported by both parties. So that's going to be a term that you're going to need to know. Partisan and bipartisan. If something is considered bipartisan, it means that it is an action that is supported by both parties. Whereas a partisan action would be something that is only supported by one party. So bipartisan means they have support of both. Partisan means it only has support of one. Partisanship is firm allegiance to party and cause gridlock. Now, partisanship is one of the major kind of shortcomings of our political system. If there is one group of people that is, let's look at our Congress for just a moment. We have the Senate and the House of Representatives. If the Senate has a majority of one party and the House of Representatives has a majority of another party, if they cannot find any sort of way to compromise, then we're going to have gridlock, where things are bound up. This party won't budge and neither will this one. So they are just kind of locked in this struggle. And since neither one of them can overrule the other one, nothing gets done. They just are two groups of people that just refuse to get along. And this can and has happened many times. Watchdog. Parties out of power can police the actions of the party in power. Now, what this means is if one political party has more members elected to the office than the other, they are considered in power. But the ones that are out of power, who have fewer members, can attempt to sway public opinion in their own favor. So, they may not be able to outvote them. They may not be able to kind of sway their opinions in office, whether that be in, whether that be in the White House or Congress, they can go to the public and say, hey, look at what they're doing. Look at what they're doing. Look, you don't want this. You don't support this sort of stuff. And that's what it means by police the action. Serve as a watchdog, because people that are in Congress can see things happening that maybe we as the general public don't know is going on. So they will be a watchdog or a whistleblower, which kind of just alerts the public to saying, oh, well, look at what they're doing. You don't want this. So they're attempting to sway your favor away from the party that is in power back to their own party, so that the next time elections come up, they're hoping that these watchdog actions that they've done will help voters sway away from the party that is in power and back to their own. The role of loyal opposition is important, meaning that if there has to be some opposition whenever any decision is being made in order to have a good conversation, to find a good middle ground. America's two-party system. Historical basis. America began with two parties, the Federalist and Anti-Federalist. Now, as you have probably noticed, these parties don't exist anymore. Over time, these parties either split or changed, or a number of things have happened to give us the two parties that we have today. Tradition. America has a two-party system because it's always had one. Minor parties have never found success, so people are reluctant to support them. Now, there are some of the minor parties, also known as third parties, that do have a basis of support where a lot of people are supportive of them, but they don't have as many supporters as the main two parties. The electoral system. Certain features of the government, such as a single-member district, are designed to favor two major parties. So our electoral system and the way it works, which is something we will get into in the next section, some of it is set up in a way that it favors and supports a two-party system. Ideological consensus. Most Americans have a general agreement on fundamental matters. Conditions that would spark strong rival parties don't exist. Most Americans would agree on major matters, I don't think there's going to be anybody out there that says that someone who commits murder shouldn't go to jail. I don't think there's going to be anybody out there that says that someone that does another terrible crime shouldn't face some sort of punishment. So, the reason that there aren't these strong rival parties is because their most major decisions everybody kind of agrees on. A multi-party system. Why don't we have one? Well, advantages. It provides broader representation of the people. It's more responsive to the will of the people and gives voters more choices at the polls. Well, those are all good things. So you might be thinking, well, why don't we have a multi-party system? Why do we only have the two-party system? There are some disadvantages to a multi-party system. Possibly more influence of extremists. Whenever you have more parties, there are ways, and each of them is on equal footing. Well, you could get some people that have these really extreme ideas, and if they get a lot of support in one minor party, well, that would give that extremist more influence. Parties form coalitions which can dissolve easily. Multi-parties can join together, and they have tried this in the past, and these coalitions normally fail very quickly. Failure of coalitions can cause government instability. So if a bunch of people, if like 2 or 3 parties would join together to try to get a lot of their people elected, and then that coalition falls apart because there's nothing actually requiring them to work together, whenever that coalition dissolves, the government becomes very unstable. So that's one of the reasons to not have a multi-party system. Okay guys, that's going to end it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them in the comments of this video or send me a message on Schoology or an email. You know, all the normal ways to get a hold of me. So that's going to be it for this video, and I hope everybody has a good day, and I'll see you again real soon.